I never thought I'd see my wife's name in another man's phone next to words that made my stomach turn. But there it was. A message. Last night was insane. Still thinking about you. Sent just hours ago. While she was in our bed. With me. My hands shook as I scrolled. Message after message. Flirty. Dirty. Shameless. And then I saw it, the worst one. He's so predictable. So weak. He still thinks I'm some perfect little wife. Faced with years of joy. My chest tightened. My breathing slowed. Weak? I heard the shower running upstairs. She had no idea I knew. And in that moment I made a decision. I wasn't just going to confront her. I was going to let her bury herself. I put the phone back exactly where it was, my hands still shaking. My mind was spinning, my pulse hammering in my ears. Upstairs, the shower shut off. I heard the curtain slide open, the soft shuffle of her feet against the bathroom tiles. She had no idea. No idea that the game was over. No idea that I was about to flip the whole damn board. I took a deep breath, forcing my face into something neutral. I couldn't let her see it. Not yet. Olivia walked into the bedroom wrapped in a towel, her wet hair dripping onto her shoulders. She grabbed her phone without even looking at me. The screen lit up in her hands. Another message. She smirked. My jaw clenched. I watched as her fingers typed something, fast, effortless, like she'd done it 1,000 times before. Probably because she had. Why are you staring at me like that? She said without looking up, still scrolling. I forced a chuckle, shaking my head. Just thinking how lucky I am. She finally glanced up at me, one perfectly sculpted brow raised. Well, obviously. The arrogance. The sheer, unapologetic cockiness. She had no idea. She tossed her phone onto the bed and walked past me like I wasn't even there, heading to the closet. My eyes followed her, studying every movement. Every little thing that had once been familiar, comforting, was now twisted into something ugly. I thought about all the nights I stayed up waiting for her. All the times I defended her when my friends joked about her staying out late, her phone glued to her hand. I thought about every little lie she told, every excuse, every fake smile. And now I had proof. My hands balled into fists. I could confront her right now. Throw the phone in her face. Watch her squirm. Watch her try to explain her way out of this. But no. That was too easy. She thought she was smarter than me. Thought she had me wrapped around her little finger. I wanted to see how far she'd go. So I sat on the edge of the bed and watched her get dressed like nothing was wrong. She hummed to herself, flipping through outfits like she didn't have a care in the world. Going out? I asked casually. She barely spared me a glance. Yeah, dinner with Stephanie. Stephanie. The human alibi. I almost laughed. The audacity. The disrespect. I stood up, walking toward her, standing just close enough to see the way her pulse ticked at her throat. You look amazing, I said, my voice smooth, steady. Wear that red dress. The one I like. She hesitated. Just for a second. Just enough for me to catch it. Then she smirked again, turning back to the mirror. You do have good taste. I kissed her cheek, my lips barely touching her skin. Have fun, babe. She grabbed her purse and phone, gave me one last glance, then walked out the door like she hadn't just spent the last 24 hours tangled up with another man. The second I heard her car pull out of the driveway, I grabbed my keys. I wasn't staying home tonight. It was time to meet Nathan. I followed her. She had no idea. Her car turned down the highway and I kept my distance, gripping the steering wheel so hard my knuckles turned white. The rage inside me was pulsing, boiling, but I kept it under control. I needed to see it with my own eyes. I needed to watch her walk into another man's arms, knowing she still thought she had me fooled. 15 minutes later, she pulled into the parking lot of an upscale hotel. Not a bar. Not a restaurant. A damn hotel. My stomach twisted, but I kept my face blank, my hands steady. She stepped out of the car, adjusting her dress, checking her reflection in the window. The way she smoothed her hair, fixed her lipstick, it was all for him. Not for me. I parked across the street and watched as she walked straight to the entrance, her heels clicking against the pavement like a countdown to the end of everything. A few seconds later, a man appeared from inside. Tall. Well-dressed. Smirking like he already owned her. Nathan. She grinned, her entire face lighting up in a way I hadn't seen in years. Like she was excited. Alive. Then she leaned in and kissed him. Not a quick peck. Not a hesitant glance around to see if anyone was watching. No shame. No hesitation. Her arms wrapped around his neck, his hands slid down her waist, and they melted into each other like they'd done it 100 times before. I tasted bile in my throat. I could have stormed across the street right then. Could have grabbed him by the collar, could have made a scene. But no. That wasn't enough. I pulled out my phone and snapped a picture. 1, 2, 3. Her arms around his neck. His hands gripping her hips. Her eyes closed, completely lost in him. Evidence. I sat there, gripping my phone so tightly my fingers ached. This was it. The moment my marriage ended. The moment everything I thought I had, everything I thought was real, was shattered. They walked inside together, laughing. Like nothing else in the world mattered. I exhaled slowly. I had a choice. I could go home, pretend I never saw it, let her come back with another excuse. Or I could burn everything down. I chose the second option. I waited, watching the entrance. 10 minutes passed. Then 20. My hands didn't stop shaking. My heartbeat was a hammer in my chest. And then I made the call. She didn't answer. Of course, she didn't. So I sent the picture. No words. No explanation. Just the proof. 2 minutes later, my phone buzzed. A message from her. Logan, I can explain. I smirked. Let her try. I didn't respond. I wanted her to feel it. The panic. The desperation. The same damn feeling I had when I saw her in his arms. The typing bubbles appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. She was scrambling. Trying to find the right lie, the right excuse. My phone rang. I let it ring. Then another message. Please. Just talk to me. I leaned back in my seat, watching the hotel entrance. She wasn't coming out. She wasn't running to explain herself. She was still up there with him, knowing she'd been caught, knowing I had proof, and still choosing to stay. That told me everything I needed to know. I started the car. My mind was clear now. Cold. Calculated. If she thought I was just going to sit at home and wait for her to crawl back with some pathetic excuse, she was dead wrong. As I drove, my phone kept buzzing. Calls. More texts. I ignored them all. By the time I pulled into the driveway, I already knew what I was going to do. I walked inside, straight to her bedroom. Opened her closet. Pulled out her suitcase. Another call. This time I answered. Her voice was shaky. Logan, ew. Don't say a word. My voice was steady. Too steady. You have until morning to get your things and get out. A beat of silence. Then a nervous laugh. Wait, babe, please, just listen. I hung up. The doorbell rang. I turned my head sharply. She couldn't be here already. Not unless she had run out of that hotel the second she realized I wasn't playing games. I walked to the door, heart pounding, expecting to see her. Expecting her to try to beg, to lie, to twist things around. But when I opened it, it wasn't Olivia. It was Nathan. Smirking. Like this was some kind of joke. I didn't hesitate. My fist connected with his jaw before he could even get a word out. His head snapped back and he stumbled, catching himself against the porch railing. You must be Logan, he muttered, rubbing his jaw, still smiling like the smug bastard he was. You must be stupid, I shot back. He chuckled, straightening up, wiping blood from his lip. She told me you had a temper. Guess she wasn't lying about that. I clenched my jaw. What the hell do you want? He shrugged. Just thought I'd come over and clear the air. Olivia's on her way here, by the way. I laughed, shaking my head. You seriously think I give a damn? He tilted his head. If you didn't, you wouldn't have answered the door. I wanted to hit him again. I wanted to break his face, make him feel even a fraction of what I was feeling. But I wasn't about to lose my cool. Not over him. Not over her. I exhaled, stepping back. Get off my property. His smirk widened. Come on, man. Let's be real here. You knew she was bored, didn't you? You saw it coming. Women like Olivia don't stay with guys like you forever. I moved so fast he barely had time to react. 1 second, he was standing there, talking shit. The next, he was pinned against the wall, my forearm pressing hard against his throat. Say one more word, I said, voice low, deadly. See what happens. His smirk finally faltered. A car pulled up. Olivia. She stepped out, eyes wide, hair a mess, looking like she had just been through hell. Logan, stop, she yelled, running toward us. I let go of Nathan and stepped back. He coughed, adjusting his collar, but he wasn't smiling anymore. Olivia grabbed my arm. Can we just talk? Please? I looked down at her. Really looked at her. The woman I had loved. The woman I had trusted. The woman who had been in some damn hotel room with another man just an hour ago. And now she was standing here, acting like there was anything left to say. I yanked my arm away. Your stuff is inside. Take it and go. Her lips parted, eyes filling with fake tears. You don't mean that. Nathan chuckled behind me. Told you, babe. He's not gonna. I turned on him so fast he actually flinched. I swear to God, if you say one more word, you'll leave here in a damn ambulance. That shut him up. Olivia reached for my hand. Please, Logan? Just let me explain. I stepped back. Explain? You mean lie? Like you did every single time you walked out that door, every single time you looked me in the eye and told me you loved me. She shook her head, her bottom lip trembling. It wasn't like that. It was exactly like that. Her eyes darted to Nathan, then back to me. It was a mistake. I laughed. Laughed. A cold, empty sound. A mistake? A mistake is forgetting an anniversary. A mistake is buying the wrong milk. You don't accidentally someone else for months. She opened her mouth, then closed it. She had nothing. No excuses left. No lies to twist around me. I took a step back, motioning to the door. Get your shit. Get out. Nathan smirked. Come on, babe. Let's go. She didn't move. She stood there, looking at me like she actually expected me to break. To forgive. She was insane. I turned and walked inside, slamming the door behind me. I stood there for a long time, listening. After a few minutes, I heard footsteps. Heard the sound of her grabbing things, stuffing them into her suitcase. No more words. No more pleas. Then the door opened. And just like that, she was gone. I let out a breath. My whole body was shaking, but I felt lighter. Empty, but lighter. I walked to the kitchen, grabbed a beer, and sat down. For the first time in a long time, I was alone. And for the first time in a long time, I was okay with that. The silence felt different now. It wasn't heavy. It wasn't suffocating. It was just there. No more fake laughter from across the room. No more half-hearted excuses. No more pretending. I took a long sip of my beer, letting the cold bitterness settle on my tongue. My hands weren't shaking anymore. The storm had passed. My phone buzzed on the table. I stared at it for a moment before picking it up. A message from Olivia. I know you hate me right now. I know get up. But I swear to you, Logan, I never meant to hurt you. I exhaled slowly. She still didn't get it. She still thought this was about some emotional mistake. That I was just some wounded puppy licking my wounds, waiting for her to throw me a bone. I typed back. You didn't mean to hurt me. You just didn't care if you did. I hit send and tossed the phone onto the table. No reply. Good. I leaned back in my chair, staring at the ceiling. My mind was replaying the last few months, every little red flag I had ignored, every gut feeling I had pushed down. The late nights. The sudden phone privacy. The way she would pick fights over nothing just so she could storm out of the house. It had all been leading to this. And I had been blind. But not anymore. A knock at the door. I tensed. My first thought was that she had come back. That she wasn't done spinning her web. I pushed my chair back, walked to the door, and pulled it open. It wasn't Olivia. It was Stephanie. Her best friend. The one she had always used as an excuse. She looked nervous, shifting on her feet, her hands gripping the strap of her purse. Hey, Logan, she said quietly. I narrowed my eyes. What are you doing here? She glanced over her shoulder like she was making sure Olivia wasn't lurking somewhere. Then she sighed. I needed to talk to you. I crossed my arms. About what? Her lips pressed together. About Olivia. And Nathan. And everything. Something in my chest tightened. What about them? She hesitated, then looked me straight in the eye. She's been lying to you about a lot more than just him. The words hung in the air, thick and heavy. My stomach twisted. I should have told her to leave. Should have shut the door, walked away. But I didn't. I stepped back. Come in. She nodded and walked inside, and as I shut the door behind her, I already knew. The betrayal I thought I had uncovered was only the surface. The real truth was worse. So much worse. Stephanie sat on the couch, hands clasped together, tapping her foot like she was debating whether to even say what she had come here to say. I leaned against the kitchen counter, arms crossed, watching her. My patience was thin. I wasn't in the mood for another round of half-truths and fake sympathy. Just say it, I muttered. She took a deep breath. Olivia's been cheating on you for a lot longer than you think. I stared at her. The words should have hit harder, but I was already too numb. How long? I asked, my voice hollow. Stephanie hesitated. At least a year. A year. I let out a slow, bitter laugh. Right? And you knew the whole time? Her face twisted with guilt. I didn't at first. I swear. But when I did, I didn't know how to tell you. I thought she would stop. She kept saying she would stop. I shook my head, pushing off the counter. She didn't stop, Stephanie. She just got better at lying. She flinched. I know. And I should have told you sooner, but I was scared she cut herself off, biting her lip. I caught that. She'd what? Stephanie looked away. My pulse ticked up. Say it. She exhaled sharply. She said you wouldn't believe me. That she could turn it around on me. Make me look like the liar. And honestly, I think she was right. You loved her so much, Logan. You wouldn't have believed it. I clenched my jaw. The worst part was she wasn't wrong. A year ago, if Stephanie had come to me with this, I probably would have defended Olivia. Probably would have convinced myself that my wife would never do something like that. Yeah? Now I felt like an idiot. Stephanie shifted uncomfortably. Nathan wasn't the first, Logan. She's been with other guys. I don't know how many, but it wasn't just him. Something in my chest twisted. I already knew Olivia was a liar. I knew she was capable of sneaking around behind my back, looking me in the eye and feeding me a straight-up fairy tale while she was running around with another man. But multiple men? That was something else entirely. I ran a hand through my hair, exhaling through my nose. You should have told me anyway. She nodded, looking down. I know. Silence stretched between us. The weight of it was suffocating. After a moment, she sighed. I'm really sorry, Logan. I know that probably doesn't mean much, but I am. I stared at her, trying to figure out if I believed her. If she was just here to ease her own guilt or if she actually gave a damn about what I was going through. Then she spoke again. There's something else you should know. I didn't even react. At this point, I was past being surprised. Of course there is. She hesitated, then pulled her phone out of her bag. I don't think she ever planned to tell you the truth. Even when she knew she was caught. She's been planning something else. She scrolled for a second, then turned the phone toward me. It was a screenshot of a message. Olivia, if he finds out, I'll just flip it on him. He'll believe whatever I say. He's too soft to do anything about it anyway. I felt something inside me snap. Even after everything, she thought she could still manipulate me. That I was soft. That she could turn this around and walk away clean. I met Stephanie's gaze, my voice calm, steady. She has no idea who she's messing with. Stephanie watched me carefully. What are you gonna do? I picked up my phone, scrolling through my camera roll until I found the picture I took outside the hotel. Olivia in Nathan's arms kissing him like she didn't have a husband waiting for her at home. I smirked. She wanted a game. Let's play. I sent the picture. No words. No explanation. Just cold, hard proof. A few seconds later, the typing bubbles appeared. Then disappeared. Then appeared again. Then my phone rang. I let it ring twice before answering. Her voice was shaky. Logan, please. I didn't say a word. Just let the silence sit there, stretching out, suffocating. She took a deep breath. I don't know what you think you saw, but it's not what it looks like. I almost laughed. Not what it looks like. You're in his arms, Olivia. You're kissing him. Should I believe you tripped and fell onto his lips? She exhaled sharply. It was a mistake. I was drunk. I cut her off. Save it. I know everything. I know about the other men. I know this has been going on for over a year. I know you plan to flip this on me, make me look like the bad guy. Silence. Then her tone shifted. Colder. Sharper. Who told you that? I smirked. Does it matter? Stephanie, right? Her voice was dripping with venom now. That jealous little b********h. I knew she'd pull something like this. I shook my head. Wow. Even now you can't take responsibility. You're not even sorry. You're just mad you got caught. She scoffed. Oh, give me a break, Logan. You act like you were some perfect husband. Newsflash, you were boring. Predictable. Always in your own little world. I needed more. I felt my grip tighten on the phone, my pulse pounding. She wasn't even trying to deny it anymore. I let out a breath. You done? She hesitated. I don't want things to end like this. I chuckled. You mean you don't want to lose? You thought you could lie your way out of this like you always do. But not this time, Olivia. We're done. You're done. Her voice dropped to a whisper. Logan, please? We can fix this. I almost admired her dedication to the act. But it was too late. I walked to the front door and opened it. Olivia's suitcase was still sitting in the entryway exactly where I had left it. I stepped outside and tossed it onto the porch with a heavy thud. You've got 5 minutes to come get your ***T, I said flatly. After that, I'm throwing it in the street. Logan, ew. I hung up. Stephanie was watching me from the couch, arms crossed. That went well? I smirked. She's on her way. You sticking around? She hesitated, then shook her head. No. I don't think she'd take that well. Fair enough. She grabbed her purse and headed for the door, pausing before stepping out. For what it's worth. I hope you make her pay for this. I nodded. Oh, I will. She left and I stood there in the doorway waiting. 10 minutes later, Olivia's car screeched into the driveway. She got out, slamming the door so hard the windows shook. She marched up the steps, her face twisted in fury. You really threw my stuff outside like I'm some random WH***E? I leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed. Aren't you? Her eyes burned with anger. You're gonna regret this, Logan. I smirked. No, Olivia. You are. She grabbed her suitcase, muttering curses under her breath, then turned back to me one last time. You're a fool. No woman will ever put up with you like I did. I just smiled. That's the point. She stormed off, throwing her suitcase into the car and speeding away. I watched her go, exhaling slowly. And just like that, I was free. The house felt different the second she was gone. Lighter. Quieter. Not the kind of quiet that presses on your chest and makes you feel alone. No, this was different. It was peaceful. I walked back inside, shutting the door behind me. No more waiting up at night, wondering where she was. No more second-guessing myself, questioning if I was just being paranoid. No more Olivia. My phone buzzed. I sighed, expecting another pathetic attempt from her. But it wasn't. Stephanie. She's gonna try something. Be ready. I raised an eyebrow. I didn't respond, but I knew she was right. Olivia wasn't the type to just accept a loss and move on. She was calculating, manipulative, always thinking 10 steps ahead. I poured myself another drink, letting the ice clink against the glass. Whatever she had planned, she'd learned the hard way that I wasn't the same man she had spent years controlling. She was about to find out exactly what happens when you push someone too far. I sat down, stretched my legs out, and smirked. For the first time in a long time, I was looking forward to the future.